Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about the future continuous tense. Now, before we begin this lesson, have you subscribed to the channel? If you have subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, I'm going to give you a second. Go on, click that subscribe button. Have you done that? Now, thank you very much and a very warm welcome to this family. Now, there are some rules that we have to try and follow as much as possible to ensure that we use the future continuous tense correctly, either in speech or in writing. Rule number 1. Use this tense to indicate or to show that something will happen in the future and continue for an unexpected length of time. So we use the future continuous tense when you want to explain about something that is going to happen in the future and it's going to continue for some time. Okay? So you want to explain, you want to talk about something that is going to happen in the very near future. You want to explain something that you're going to do in the near future, that you're planning to do in the very near future. Okay? And you want to explain that you're going to be spending some time doing that particular thing. Okay? For example, if someone asks you, what are your plans for tomorrow? What will you be doing tomorrow at 6 o'clock? What are your plans for this evening? What are your plans for next week? What plans do you have for later today? What are you planning to do tonight? What are you planning to do on Saturday? What are your plans for tomorrow? Now, to explain what you will be doing at a given time in the future, you use the future continuous tense. Let's look at some examples. Example 1a on the right. I will be cooking dinner at 6 o'clock. So if someone asks you, what will you be doing at 6 o'clock? Then you can say, I will be cooking dinner at 6 o'clock. So your plan at 6 o'clock is to cook dinner. I will be cooking dinner at 6 o'clock. B. Jack will be running a marathon on Saturday. Jack will be running a marathon on Saturday. So if someone asks, what will Jack be doing on Saturday? What will be Jack doing on Saturday? And the answer will be, Jack will be running a marathon on Saturday. So that's what Jack will be doing on Saturday. Okay? C. I will be watching television tonight. So if someone asks you, what are you planning to do tonight? Then you can say, I will be watching television tonight. And D. The doctor will be calling you later today. The doctor will be calling you later today. So, all these 4 sentences, they indicate something that is going to happen in the future and that is going to continue for an unexpected length of time. We don't know how long it's going to last. Okay? So you're planning on doing something tonight or tomorrow or next week, but you have no idea how long it's going to actually take you to do it. So you can use the future continuous tense. In the first sentence, 1a, it is cooking dinner at 6 o'clock. That is what will be happening in the near future. That is what will be happening at 6 o'clock. But it's going to continue. The person is going to continue cooking for an unexpected long length of time. Okay? So we don't know how long she or he will be spending doing the cooking. All we know is that she'll be cooking dinner at 6 o'clock, and that's going to go on for some time. Okay? In the next sentence, it is running a marathon on Saturday. That's the plan for Saturday. Now, it's going to continue for some time on Saturday. We don't know exactly how long. And then the next one is watching television. Now, all we know is that the person is planning to watch television tonight. Now, how long it's going to take, we don't know. We only know that it's going to continue for an unexpected length of time. And then D, it is making a call. Okay, so the doctor will be calling you later today. That's the plan, that the doctor will call you. But that will continue for an unexpected length of time. So always use that tense. Always use the future continuous tense when you want to talk about something that you're planning to do in the future and something that you have no idea how long it's going to take you to actually complete it. Okay, rule number 2. Use to construct a sentence in the future continuous tense. Okay, to construct a sentence in this tense, use will plus be plus verb plus ing. So will plus be plus verb, that is verb in its original form, the verb in the first form, in the base form, and then you add ing. It really is that simple. It is will plus be plus verb plus ing. Let's look at some examples of how to do that. Now, on the right, have a look at examples 2A, B, C, and D. Example A. I will be singing in the choir tomorrow. I will be singing in the choir tomorrow. So after the pronoun I, then you have will plus be plus sing plus ing. I will be singing in the choir tomorrow. So that's your plan for tomorrow. You will be singing in the choir, but that's going to continue for an unexpected length of time. It might last an hour, it might last 4 hours. We don't know. So here you're explaining your plan for tomorrow, and you're also indicating that it's going to continue for an unexpected length of time through the use of the future continuous tense. Example B, 2B. They will be playing tennis when you come later. So you have the pronoun they, and then you have will plus be plus play plus ing. Okay? They will be playing tennis when you come later. Okay? So later on, when you arrive, they will be playing tennis. That's the plan for later, and that's going to last for an unexpected length of time. And then 2C. We will be having lunch at 12 o'clock tomorrow. We will be having lunch at 12 o'clock tomorrow. You have the pronoun we, then you have will plus be, okay, plus the verb play plus ing. It becomes playing, okay? C, example 2C. We will be having lunch at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we have a plan. And the plan is to have lunch. But that's going to be continuing for some time. We don't know how long. We will be having lunch at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So we begin having our lunch at 12 o'clock, and then it's going to carry on for some time. Okay? Now, example 2D. He will be coming to visit us next week. He will be coming to visit us next week. Now, sometime next week, he will be coming to visit us. In that sentence, you have will, so you have the pronoun he, then you have will plus be plus come plus ing, and then the rest of the sentence. So, to construct a sentence in the future continuous tense, you always use the construction will plus be plus the verb in its original form, okay? And then you add ing. In our examples, the verb in the first sentence was sing, and then we added ing. In the next sentence, it was play, and then we added ing. In the next sentence, it was have. We added ing. And indeed, the verb was come, and we added ing. So it really is that simple. Now, rule number 3. Use this tense with action verb. Okay? Use this tense with action verbs. That should have been action, not actions. Use this verb with action verbs. Action verbs are doing verbs. They are verbs which indicate that somebody is doing something. Physically, they are doing something. Okay? Physically, they are doing something. So use this tense with action verbs, and action verbs are doing verbs. They are verbs in which people do things physically. They do things. Okay? So use this tense with action verbs only. Okay? We only use a future continuous tense with action verbs only, and not with stative verbs. Not with stative verbs. Now, stative verbs describes states of existence. There is no action. Nobody is doing anything. Instead, they are just describing a state. Okay? Now, some examples of stative verbs are being. In the verb being, nobody is doing anything. They're just in that state. They're immobile. They're not doing anything. And then seeming. That's also an example of a stative verb, because it's not a doing verb. It's not an action verb. Nobody is doing anything. Okay? There is no action that is taking place. Nobody is doing anything. It is instead, they are simply in the state of existence, seeming or seem. Okay? So, the next verb is know, knowing. It's a stative verb. Now, the verb be and the verb seem and the verb know, they are all stative verbs because they are not action verbs. They simply describe a state of existence, a state of being. Nobody is doing anything. Now, some examples of action verbs are like the ones we have already seen in example 1. Cook, somebody is physically doing something. Run, they are moving their body. Watch, okay, they are watching something. Their eyes are moving, they are watching it, okay. Call, you're speaking, you're holding the phone and you're speaking. Singing, you're opening your mouth and you're doing something. Playing, you're moving your body, okay. Now, having, so we will be sitting together and doing it. Okay, and then coming, you have to move your legs. Cleaning. Okay, now let's look at examples 3a. Okay, use this tense with action verbs only and not stative verbs. Example 3a, I will be cleaning my bedroom next week. Now, cleaning is definitely an action verb because you're moving your body. You're doing something physically. I will be cleaning my bedroom next week. The next example, B, he will be jumping with joy when he hears the news. He will be jumping with joy when he hears the news. Jump, it's an action verb, okay? Because you're moving your body. Then C, Peter will be turning on the television in an hour. Peter will be turning on the television in an hour. So, turn, he has to use his fingers, or maybe he has to press the remote control. There's some movement there. D, she will be explaining everything to you later. Her mouth is moving as she's explaining, okay? So in all those sentences in examples 3a, b, c, and d, we have action verbs. We have doing verbs. Somebody is doing something, okay? So we only use the future continuous tense with verbs that are action verbs, not with stative verbs. Now, some examples of stative verbs in sentences are, now, look at the first example on the right, below 3D. I will be stressing tomorrow during my French test. I will be stressing tomorrow during my French test. That sentence is not correct. And that is because stress is a stative verb. It describes a state of being in stress. Okay? It describes a state of being in stress. Okay? There is no physical movement. It is a state of mind. It is an emotion. It's a feeling. Okay? Stressing. So that sentence is not correct. I will be stressing tomorrow during my French test. Instead, the correct sentence should be, I will be stressed tomorrow during my French test. That is correct. I will be stressed tomorrow during my French test. So we cannot use we cannot use the future continuous tense with that verb stressing. Stress, that is a state of being. It is not an action verb. There is no action. There's no movement of the body. Okay? It's not like cooking, running, watching, singing, playing. Okay? It simply describes a state of existence, a state of mind, a state of being. Look at the next example below there. He will be seeming sick during the sports tomorrow. He will be seeming sick during the sports tomorrow. Now, again, that sentence is wrong. It's not correct. And that's because seem is also a stative verb. It is a verb that does not describe a state of action. There is no action. There is no movement. It simply describes a state of being, a state of existence. Okay? So the correct answer will be, he will be sick tomorrow. He will be sick during the sports tomorrow. He will be sick during the sports tomorrow. Okay? He will be sick during the sports tomorrow. Or he will seem to be sick during the sports tomorrow. He will seem to be sick during the sports tomorrow. Okay? Now, let us look at the final example. I will be knowing all the answers after I study. I will be knowing all the answers after I study. That sentence is not correct. And that is because know is a stative verb. And we do not use stative verbs to construct sentences in the future continuous tense. Now, the correct sentence will be, I will know all the answers after I study. I will know all the answers after I study. Okay? So the first sentence is, I will be stressed tomorrow during my French test. That is the correct answer. And the next one, you can say, he will seem to be sick during the sports tomorrow. He will seem to be sick during the sports tomorrow. And finally, I will know all the answers after I study. Now, this brings me to the last section of this lesson where I'm going to give you some tips, okay? Some tips. Now, look on the left side of your board at the bottom. The left side at the bottom. Tips. Use this tense A to describe uninterrupted actions in the future. So when you plan on doing something and it's going to be uninterrupted, then use the future continuous tense. You're going to be cooking dinner at 6 o'clock, and that will be an interrupted action. You'll be running a marathon on Saturday. That's also going to be an interrupted action. It's going to go on for some time. You're going to be watching television tonight. That will be an interrupted action. Now, B. Tip number B. To describe, use this tense to describe actions that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. Okay? To describe actions that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. So if you're planning to do something at a specific time in the future, then, and it will continue, it will be in progress, then use that, the future continuous tense. Like for example 1A, I will be cooking dinner at 6 o'clock. That's a very specific time. Another example, 2C, we will be having lunch at 12 o'clock. That's also a very specific time. Now, tip C, use this tense to emphasize future plans and intentions. So you want to be very specific, you want to stress about your future plans and the intentions that you have, then use the future continuous tense. For example, examples 3A, I will be cleaning my bedroom next weekend. That's your plan. That's your future plan. That's what you intend to do, to clean your bedroom next weekend. Okay? Now, look at, for example, example 1B. Jack will be running a marathon on Saturday. That's Jack's plan, that on Saturday he will be running a marathon. Okay? And then look at example 2D. He will be coming to visit us next week. That's his plan. That's his intention is to come and visit us next week. Okay? So this brings me to the end of this lesson. Remember, the future continuous tense is pretty simple to form. All you have to do is just use the construction will plus be plus verb plus ing. Okay? So immediately after the subject, just use will plus be plus verb plus ing. The subject in all these sentences, in the first sentence it is I, in 1B it is Jack, in C it is I, in the last sentence 1D the subject is doctor. Okay, so once you have written the subject, that is the person who is doing the action in your sentence, then simply just add will plus be plus verb plus ing. But remember to use this tense with doing verbs or action verbs. Do not use this tense. Do not use this tense with stative verbs. In other words, verbs that describe states of existence. Okay? Now, have you learned something new from this lesson? Did you find the lesson informative? Now, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Have you done that? Thank you, fantastic. I appreciate that very much. Now share this video with your friends and your family and schoolmates and anybody else who may need this video. Remember, sharing is caring. Until our next lesson, bye-bye.